Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books, and I've been covering Disney very closely these last few months, and now the new Little Mermaid movie is creating a panic over at woke Disney. What are they panicked about? The problem they have is this. There's a lot of money involved in making these movies. If you look at The Lion King, this is not the original Lion King. This is a Lion King that came out in 2019. It was the live action remake. Who would think they would even do such a thing? But it makes money, so they did it. They made $120 million in China alone on the live action remake. The total take was $1.6 billion worldwide. If they knew what they were doing, if they produced a good movie, and this was in 2019, it wasn't that long ago, The Little Mermaid could be an incredible financial success for Disney. Is it going to be? Well, what's interesting about this is it probably is not. There were 1.1 million dislikes for the new Little Mermaid trailer, and there were as many as 3 million dislikes for the original teaser trailer they did a couple of months ago. There's an incredible backlash to Disney doing this woke thing where they're saying, hey, look, we need to remove all of our white characters. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it certainly comes off that way. They need to remove all the characters that look like the original characters, and they need to bring in what they call more diverse characters. It's not really diverse if the changes only go in one direction. It's kind of ridiculous, but this is what they've been doing. It didn't seem to matter so much with The Lion King because, you know, that wasn't anything that you would change these characters around for. But apparently it does matter when it comes to The Little Mermaid. They are pushing it hard. What's interesting is, so they pay themselves $10 million. Now, Disney pays ABC, which is a division of Disney. They own ABC. $10 million to show the Little Mermaid teaser at the 2023 Oscars. $10 million for one promotional event. Now, if you are DC Comics, the DCU, and you're trying to promote the release of The Flash, and you want to say, hey, take a look at us. Notice they didn't spend the money on Shazam. Shazam was a flop. They did something like $30 million in their opening weekend this weekend, Shazam 2. It's not successful, okay? We're not trying to say it's successful. It was part of the previous management. They're going to lose more money on that than they were hoping to. That's why we probably didn't see a lot of promotion on Shazam 2. You can understand spending, you know, what this is, $7 million on promoting The Flash in a 30-second spot in the Super Bowl. A lot of people talked about it. But to spend $10 million, they actually just put $10 million from their left pocket into their right pocket. And while it is a separate division and they have separate accounting, all the results become consolidated under the same umbrella. They may as well have paid $100 million. It doesn't matter. It goes from the left pocket into the right pocket. But what it does allow them to do, which is really ridiculous, and we're going to get into this article from The Hollywood Reporter. The Little Mermaid trailer earns the most Disney live action views since The Lion King. Since The Lion King. Didn't we just talk about The Lion King? We did. The results for The Lion King were incredible. $1.6 billion. It's not Avatar. It's not Avatar 2, but those are some very respectable numbers, especially for any kind of a remake. And this is the narrative they're trying to launch, that it's going to be anticipated, it's going to be successful. When they say that The Little Mermaid earned most Disney live action views since The Lion King, how do you say that they've earned it when they actually include the broadcast of the trailer that they paid themselves for? That doesn't sound earned to me. That sounds like a free infomercial. How do you count that? Well, let's get into the article. Before we do, please be sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications and give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, from Hollywood Reporter, the movie's first full trailer was one of the most watched spots for any title in Disney's growing stable of live-action reimaginings. They couldn't say, all right, look, it was the most viewed of every trailer from any other studio or even from all of our studios. It was the live-action remakes. But they're referencing The Lion King, and that was a big moneymaker. Now here, Pamela is obviously a friend of Disney's, the author Pamela McClintock from Hollywood Reporter. Ariel is making waves. The first full trailer promoting The Little Mermaid generated more than 108 million global views in its first 24 hours, according to Disney, making it one of the most watched trailers for any title in Disney's growing stable of live-action reimaginings and the biggest for a Disney live-action title since The Lion King early in 2019. The number of views is inclusive of the well, at least they're being inclusive, of the broadcast TV audience and digital. How do you include infomercial spots, paid spots, as earning anything? The Little Mermaid trailer dropped March 12th during the Academy Awards ceremony, where stars Halle Bailey and Melissa McCarthy introduced the spot. Bailey plays Ariel in live-action update of the 1989 animated classic, while McCarthy stars as the villainous Ursula. The Lion King's first full trailer garnered roughly 130 million views in spring 2019. Otherwise, the Little Mermaid trailer surpassed the first full spot for Aladdin, which was viewed 106.5 million times. Mermaid also surpassed Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and Mulan, and Cruella. All they would need to do to make their next live-action remake be more successful than Little Mermaid is have more paid spots for whatever that title would be. So how is that earned? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have they earned that success? Or is that just something where they're paying themselves for advertising? I mean, it's the most ridiculous spin I've ever heard of. Over the past decade, Disney has found success with live-action remakes of its animated classics, with Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, among those clearing $1 billion globally. Its upcoming remakes include Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler and due out in March of 2024. Others in the works include Lilo and Stitch, as well as a Lion King prequel, Mufasa the Lion King. If they're able to do this kind of money, $1.6 billion worldwide on a Lion King remake, of course they should do a prequel. So good for them. That's not ridiculous. That's sensible. But I'm sorry, it doesn't make you racist if you don't like them changing up characters, especially when you know they do it time and time and time again. Just a couple of comments from Reddit. I find these guys really interesting because they seem to be speaking from how they really feel. And these are comments on the Breitbart article right here. The blame falls squarely on Disney for making a crappy remake, period. Yep, Avatar did more than fine and it was clearly left-wing themed. Disney at this point is just tone deaf and fake and needs to just leave more up to artists instead of corporate dipweeds trying to drive creative projects through some insane demographic checklist or whatever. Oh, I thought surely Donald Trump was to blame again. And another comment, it's a lot more than that. They're being racist for trying to be actively anti-racist. People are tired of forced diversity and virtue signaling. I've always considered live action to be as close to the original as possible, but Disney hates white people. Well, I don't know if Disney hates white people. I do know they seem to be replacing all of them with other options. And of course, it just seems very odd. There was someone that a few months ago took the original trailer that was a teaser trailer for The Little Mermaid, this new remake, and used AI to replace the current actor with another actor. And here's what someone commented about this on Twitter. He fixed The Little Mermaid and turned the woke actor into a ginger white girl, the promoter said in their own tweet. He said he can fix the whole movie when it comes out. In about 24 hours, it's over for woke sales. So here's the remake of the Black Little Mermaid as a white Little Mermaid. I was amazed when I first saw this a few months ago that you could actually do this with AI and that some person working by themselves could make this kind of a change. If you're familiar with China, you know that they took Finn out of a Star Wars movie poster and he's a black character, black actor as well, of course. China is not really big on black people in their movies. And you can almost see like, well, I don't know what China is going to do or not, but someone is clearly going to do this with the Little Mermaid movie. Let me know what you think in the comments below if they're going to change this. And technology is at the point where creative people can say, excuse me, you can make whatever kind of movie you want to make. We're going to make it into what we want it to be. Let me know if you think that's going to happen in the comments below. And let me know if you think it's racist to not agree with casting changes. I mean, don't you get a chance to say, hey, I don't like a casting change. I don't know what's going to happen with Disney. Hopefully Kevin Mayer comes back to the company as CEO. It's possible Bob Iger is going to be leaving that company before too long. But the best thing you can really do is support independent creators who are trying to create their own new iconic heroes and stories. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Do you plan on seeing The Little Mermaid? Do you plan on waiting until this version of Little Mermaid comes out? Because it probably is going to be coming out. The return to the original white ginger mermaid? Or are you going to go see it theatrically? Would love to see what you think. Do you think it's racist to not like casting decisions, especially when they don't match the original characters? And can you believe that Disney goes and pays themselves $10 million, which they then report as a profit? It's an accounting trick. And then claim with their media relationships with Hollywood Reporter, don't think for a second this didn't come through Disney, that they earned all those extra views when all they did was really just pay for advertising for a spot in the Oscars. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Always love to see your comments. Really appreciate you guys. Please be sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.